Brought to you by Penguin.
Terra Incognita by Dr. Ian Goldin and Dr. Robert Muggah. Read by Al Weaver. Preface. In the first 5 months of 2020, COVID-19 spread to 188 countries, killing over 400,000 of the more than 8 million individuals who tested positive, a small fraction of those infected. Maps of the coronavirus highlight the ways that we are connected and face common threats, as well as opportunities in the 21st century. In early 2020, when more than 2/3 of the world's population were in lockdown, we were transfixed by a map. The bright red and black display, produced by researchers at Johns Hopkins University and ESRI, tracks the evolution of the most devastating virus of the past 100 years. Chilling to look at, the map provides a real time count of the number of people who are infected and killed by COVID-19. While the speed of disease outbreak caught the world by surprise, the virus itself was not unexpected. For years, Bill Gates and many others, including the two of us, had warned whoever would listen about the threat of a massive pandemic, even anticipating where it might start and how it would mushroom around the world. While offering a terrifying hint of the scale of the 2019 and 2020 coronavirus, the data also provides a glimmer of hope. The number of recoveries, hinting at heroic efforts of doctors, nurses, ambulance drivers, paramedics and other first responders who risk their own lives to save people who are struggling to breathe. We submitted this book to Penguin Random House as the COVID-19 pandemic was making its deadly rampage around the world. After the virus was first detected in Wuhan in December 2019, Robert joined a team of epidemiologists and statisticians to help model its trajectory around the world, with a view to identifying ways to contain it. When stock markets started to crater, wiping out over $9 trillion in a single week, Ian took to the airwaves to remind listeners about past crises and how to end them. Among our biggest enemies, then as now, were conspiracy-peddling and science-denying politicians and pundits. While we cannot predict how this crisis will end, we know it will have lasting effects on globalization and many aspects of our lives. The COVID-19 pandemic reveals the systemic risks that accompany accelerated connectivity. It is a reminder of how our fates are inextricably bound together, and that cooperation, while not inevitable, is essential. Denialism and inaction on the many known existential threats we face, be they pandemics, climate change, or weapons of mass destruction, are not just dangerous, they're downright criminal. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated and disrupted our lives in unfathomable ways. Many of us cancelled plans, took time off work, cared for sick relatives, and lost loved ones before their time. The impacts were often sudden and substantial. In early March 2020, Robert was on a sabbatical in New York City. After crunching the global numbers on COVID-19, he decided to examine more closely the situation in his own backyard. Unsettled by his own statistical projections, he took a quick stroll around future hotspots, only to find the streets jam-packed with people completely oblivious to social distancing. Robert packed up his apartment that same day, hired a truck, and moved his family across the border to his native Canada, where he worked with Ian, who was locked down in Oxford in the UK to finalise the book. A few days after Robert left New York, Canada and the US shut their border, and flights to Brazil, where he normally lives, were cancelled. Within a few weeks, New York became the global epicentre of COVID-19, registering tens of thousands of fatalities and a quarter of all infections in the US. While throwing all our lives upside down, the COVID-19 pandemic starkly highlights the purpose of this book, which is to identify and visualize the world's most pressing global challenges and solutions. COVID-19 will not kill globalization, but it will certainly reshape it. The outbreak also exposes the vices and virtues of globalization. In a hyper-connected world, contagious viruses move.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?